Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues, now playing as the true Khans, led by Essen. And we are reformed and ready for blood. This does mean we now have access to a whole new wing of our focus tree, including the ability to get a faction, horses, raiding, tribal tech, lots of good stuff. Then we can go ahead and start bullying all of our neighbors. Of course, before we do any of that, we should probably move up here to Khan of Khans, get some nice bonuses and eventually a research slot. Unless we think there's a good reason to form the faction now. But I have to be neighboring a bunch of people that I'm not currently neighboring. There is the Four Fathers, but I think they're dead, so I would get an event instead. And then this would actually give me horsemen as technology. The Jacksons are gone, so I would get a leader, but I don't really care about that. The Metalmouths I killed, so I get a different leader. Yeah, like, I don't think I see a lot of benefit, really, in going for the faction until I get to Nitsitapi or Standing Rock to go for horses. So we're gonna skip that. Is there anything else that'd be very helpful moving in against the Smiling folks, the Ruminators? We could go for some Sisters of Steel remnants. Honestly, 2 units of Paladins? I could see that making a difference right about now. Anyway, let's go ahead and declare war against these people. And we'll try to push through this area, push through here. There are, let me guess, rivers? Yep, there's a river along here. Of course we can't get across. Freaking hate rivers sometimes, man, especially when they're hidden by my front lines. Part of the problem is I don't have the strongest pushing army, if I'm honest. I mean, my infantry here are pretty garbage. Not very good soft attack. It's about what you'd expect it to be. Decent defense enough, though. That's good. The thing is, my enforcers are objectively better. Like, if I went through here and I actually swapped out enforcers, I just want to show you why I think these are actually going to end up being good and my bread and butter, especially when they get buffed as the tribal tech takes effect. Swap them all out. Look at this. Look at all the green. Much better soft attack and hard attack. Significantly better defense. Way better breakthrough. And even some armor to add to a bit of extra survivability. Like, this is solid. And that's only going to be getting better once we get that tribal tech up and running, work down here, give myself more defense and breakthrough, recovery, 10% more soft attack, more hard attack and piercing, speed, and organization. Across the board, enforcers will be really quite good. Okay, we're able to break through the mountains even though I can't break through anywhere else. That's fine. They've got more reinforcements. That's not fine. Okay, I want to get some of these victory points in quick, but maybe we can go for some encirclements. Hold on, they pulled back. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take advantage of this. Kind of do a nice little hook through here, get an encirclement. Honestly, this war is going pretty terribly right now, I'm not going to lie. I am not feeling good about our situation over here right now, not at all. Still, now we are unbroken. A time did come when a woman presented herself to Essen, a sister of steel no less, disgraced by the loss of her kinsfolk and in need of a home. What once was a noble soul has now become an empty chasm, driven by a quest for meaning. To her, Essen has become a cause worthy of her wayward hammer, and so she has come to offer her might. So long as there are stars in the midnight, so too shall I carry your will as a torch, she said as she knelt before the warrior queen, her voice hushed with respect. Though Essen knew a warrior's soul was never to be underestimated, even though she recognized the lull in the maiden's eyes, this sister continued to fight because she thought she had nothing to believe in, not because of a hunger for blood. Still, perhaps she might be useful. Her rage lacks a discipline. Basically, you're saying that she's not vengeful enough? That's an interesting way of looking at it, but okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and move back to Khan of Khans. So where are those paladins? I need them right now. Oh, that's gonna look beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and send you guys to a totally different group and move you up over here or something. Let's get some encirclements. Oh yeah, this is much better. 73 soft attack on these guys, heck yes. Way better than what I had before. It is now a time of celebration. In recent years, the Khans had rarely had much cause for celebration, whether they dwelt in the north or the south, thanks to the long years of travel and frequent deprivation. Times had changed, however, and with them the Khans' fortunes. Their numbers had steadily grown, food stores were healthy, and they could even be considered wealthy now. Even more important, however, the long divide between distant cousins had been closed, and the Khans were now one tribe, even if tragedy had set the event in motion. With that reunion had come a new uncertainty in course. It was Regis who had suggested a feast and celebration to let everyone's hair down, which had grown quickly into a several-day festival across Khan territory. Hatchets were buried, new loves were sparked, and chems and booze flowed freely. It got a bit out of control by the end, with the cleanup taking several more days, but all agreed it had been well worth it. All throughout the festival, the most toasts were dedicated to Essen, the Khan of Khans. Gosh, and those abs, I'll tell you what, whoa. Anyway, let's get that research slot. That seems good. All right, this is my opportunity to go for the kill here. If I can just pin down a few of their units and keep them where they are, we can try to make a beeline for the capital, go for a grand encirclement, and end this dang thing. This was a lot tougher than I was expecting it to be, if I'm honest. These guys held on pretty well. Future of the Khanates. Through it all, Khans of Wyoming have been the last bastion of its culture, so where do we settle down roots? Keep our capital where it is, or move it to Casper? I mean, I would say, yeah, move it to Casper, except, like, there's no advantage to doing that. This is actually a more defensible position, so we're gonna leave it where it is. And then we'll go for paid in kind, get that compliance growth, factory output, and so on. Oh, and there we go, actually. Okay, I don't even know how... Oh, I got one last victory point right up here. Perfect, okay, and we actually got a decent amount of equipment out of the arrangement. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's go ahead and eat everything. It's mine now. Not so happy anymore, are you? Oh, boo-hoo, no, no, no. Oh, okay, what do I do now? Great question. That compliance will come in handy. We can go for Wrath of the Midday, which will lead to war goals against, I've already got the Metal Mouth. The Martial Republic. These guys right over here. Yeah, they could be a bit of a challenge. I should have enough troops to deal with them, and the front line is large, which means actually it's probably in my favor to do this. So let's go ahead and set up over there next. And honestly, that compliance gain is going to be kind of huge for me right now. I'm already out of manpower just trying to patrol the roads and build that up, but the higher that gets, the less garrison I end up needing. The more manpower it starts to provide me, the better off I'll be. Now, where is Nitsi Tapi? There they are, they're over here. Wow, I have to go all the way over down this direction past MacArthur just to get the horsemen? That sucks, that's a very long ways to go. Tell you what, we're gonna go for the tribal nation first. Let's just go ahead and open up that tech option. Then we'll worry about taking on someone like the Martial Republic. Okay, now that we have those, arms workshops, bottle caps, horses, yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead and work on what we had said. Well, actually, hang on. What's ours to the stake? Side hustle, passive caps, and then the ransack coring mechanic. A coring mechanic. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but all right. We're just going to stick with the original plan, get ready to go fight some more people. I would love to go spying on them, but I'm having to use my spies just to keep some of the rebellions under control, which I'm not really happy about. And now we just sort of sit back and wait. Enjoy a nice Zinfandel from the Napa Valley. Still very much the wine snob, I do apologize. But you can't breed that out of me, alright? I don't care if it seems all hoity-toity. I like wine, what can I say? It's delicious. And since we're already talking about non-video related things, I just want to say thank you guys for the support you guys have shown so far with this series for Old World Blues. Obviously, I love this mod. Very happy to show it off as much as I can. If you guys want to continue supporting me and what I do, of course, the best thing you can do is make sure you hit the like button and, of course, subscribe down below. That is going to be the best thing. Sometimes it even glows all like rainbowy when I say the word subscribe. Let's try it again. Subscribe. It's kind of fun, right? If it works, I don't know. The YouTube transcribing isn't always amazing. You can also consider supporting me in other ways, Patreon, blah, 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 but whatever. You guys can find links in the description down below. In the meantime, yeah, just, thank you for being here. That's the most important thing. We are just about done, by the way, with our doctrine, Deathclaw Ferocity. One last chance to get more breakthrough, soft attack speed, etc. across a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I've got a certain level of tension as I'm recording this right now, too. Right about now, it's my son, also affectionately known as The Heir on this channel. It is his bedtime right now, and, yeah, he's not going down nicely, so right now he's in the other room and he is, screaming his head off. We've tried sleep training him, and he did really well, but for some reason right now, because he's teething, it really is working against us, so we have to let him cry for like 10 to 12 minutes, then we go in, make sure he knows we're here, you're okay, everything's safe, and then we have to leave him again and let him keep crying himself to sleep. It's called the Ferber method, it's a real thing, it's supposed to work, but man is it stressful! Anyway, let's just find out what this whole ours to the stake thing is. I want to know what the ransack coring mechanic really is. And now is a good time to just go ahead and attack the Martial Republic. Get this out of the way. They have a not quite perfect front line, which means we can run in here and start knocking out some of their important stuff, take out their supply hubs, blah, blah, blah. Easy peasy. See, that's a couple nice little pockets over here. We'll just go ahead and clean all these fools up. No problem. And now we have our first round of tribal tech. Okay, let's go ahead and start boosting these enforcers. Yes, we're going to start sacrificing... Oh, not Tlaloc again. We're going to start sacrificing some of our research speed, but it's worth it. Oh, it's so creepy. I hate listening to Tlaloc die. Just someone just put him out of his misery. Dang it all to heck. All right, that should do it, right? Yep, there we go. All right, Martial Republic is mine. Tempted to turn it into a puppet just because of manpower issues, but nah, we'll just go ahead and eat it. Oh, good lord. And my wife is now coming in here and telling me that the reason he was crying and screaming is because he was standing in the crib this time. Because of course he can't just, like, lay down. No wonder you can't fall asleep, bud. Now you're standing, you're not sure how to get down gracefully, so you're screaming for help, and you're not gonna get it for, like, 10 minutes! Ugh! Being a dad is hard, alright? Being a mom is harder, but being a dad is hard. Alright, we finished with Bite the Dust. This gives me claims and territory disputes for the Metalmouth's former territories. And then there's the Montana Brotherhood, who I do want to take down before they get much stronger, because they could get kind of scary. I don't really love being, like, paired up with the Brotherhood of Steel. No, no, no. How strong do we think they are? I mean, looking at the numbers just on face value, doesn't seem that bad. Still looks like they don't have quite enough troops to maintain their entire front line, and all I need is 1 or 2 openings to start really inflicting pain. So these guys will be tough, but I don't want to take engagements, I just want to outmaneuver them. This is where I wish I had the dang horses! Now, of course, I could just demand the territory from Montana Brotherhood, too. Yeah, sure, we'll give them a 10-day ultimatum. Give back all this territory so I don't have to fight over it, or I'm gonna kill ya. And then even if you give it to me, I'm probably gonna kill ya. And they reject the ultimatum. Alrighty then. Death unto ye. And I think he finally fell asleep. That's what it was. Just get him to lay down. Problem solved. Let's go ahead and start by trying to get some sneaky little encirclements here and there on a couple little guys. Like that. Beautiful. Die. He's starting to freak out. He's moving all of his troops around, which means I can pin him, get across the river basically for free. Good. So now he just opened up a new front line on the east while I clean up here in the west. Unfortunately, now he's been able to close up his lines pretty effectively. So I don't have a very easy way of getting in here, except maybe to take something like Miles City. Wouldn't mind having another victory point on this side of the river. And of course, he's trying to get his planning speed up for some more attacks, but I don't think that's going to work out well for you, bud. What is this? There's aliens! Something horrible is happening, Essen. Monsters with razor-sharp teeth and poisonous tentacles are attacking outlying settlements, and in some cases, people and patrols. These monsters attack only when they have gross protuberances and spread radiation wherever they go as if they feast on the wasteland's decay. Who would design such things? Okay, for 250 days we're just weak. Did everyone else see that, or was that just me? Well, they're dumb enough that they let me at least get a big encirclement on them, which of course now they're turning around, but this is my chance to kill off a lot of their power armor, because the power armor are the one that's killing me. These guys got some really, really good stats. I should know I'm kind of a Brotherhood of Steel stan. There we go. Clean up this pocket. That should be a pretty hefty number of casualties. The problem is, if I look at this, I'll bet that I find that I've taken more casualties than they have. Oh, where am I on this list? There are a lot of wars going on right now. There we go. Yeah, I've lost 797. They've lost 3,000. I've actually done decently well considering I have the inferior tech by a mile. Still, this is a difficult war for sure. Oh man, these guys still aren't willing to quit. They just really want to hold on to Riverview over here. Good lord. All right, well, we'll try to collapse on them as best we can, but yeah, like this is just proven... Good lord, you guys. Just give up already. There we go. Is that it? Is that enough? Perfect. Thank you. All right. Amazingly, I still got the majority of the war score as well. Though the Dakota chapter did do a fair bit of work. Let's see if we can cut them off and take all of this for myself. Amazingly, I can be mean and take all of it. Thanks for throwing away your manpower, suckers. He says, knowing full well he's throwing all of his manpower away, trying to suppress these people. Like a sucker. Honestly, what's killing me right now is manpower. Maybe it's time to go ahead and start boosting up my recruitable population factor a little bit at a time. Allow for some ghouls and so on, undesirables, I don't really care. Just get me manpower. I'll even take the outsider battalions for the non-core manpower. Does it hurt my resistance and stability and everything else? Yeah. Does it also get me more compliance gain? Also, yeah. And more importantly, non-core manpower is going to be good for me. Though I did unlock the ransack thing, didn't I? So how if dosteth one do the ransacky sackies? Because that sounds like fun. And now the Dakota chapter is demanding lands. I think they're a little angry with me and what I did. Which, you know, fair enough. The problem is, I know you're weaker than I am now. Because you did not finish the war. I did. Okay, I say that. They actually have sent quite a few troops to the front line all of a sudden. It's respectable. It's a respectable number of power armor divisions. It's a little intimidating. And they declared war on me. Okay! Well, that answers that. I guess we're going in for it. Here we go. And they've already let me punch through, and I'm working on a nice little neat encirclement of some of their power armor divisions, making a beeline for their capital. Oi, 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 oi. I don't know what they were thinking. They had the troops, but none of the planning, apparently, so they don't feel confident that they can attack. Which is dumb, because, like, of course they could. They actually have better stats than I do. They could have attacked and probably killed me. The problem is, I did not want to take this fight right now with this war because I'm already struggling so much to control everything. I mean, how are we doing on compliance, really? Some of the places I conquered a while ago are doing okay, but like the Marshall Republic's still only at 43%. The local militias are going to help for sure. Montana Brotherhood's got a ways to go. Ruminator's got a ways to go. I don't even have enough for Standing Rock. I conquered Standing Rock? Hold on. I guess that was someone already conquered, because didn't I need Standing Rock for this? Yes. Stoking the fires of civilization. Which means if I go down this route, I actually can work my way toward horseman technology. Okay. Anyway, I think all I have to do at this point is just make my way to Bowman. I'm just kind of snaking around and taking all the victory points. There we go. Y'all goofed up. That's all I can say. Y'all goofed up real bad. And the true cons grow once again. Okay, and we have bypassed the whole Standing Rock thing because, yeah, I conquered that, which means now I can go for the Sun-Kissed Marauders. Okay, we have to have owned all this core land. We've done that. Get war support, parting of the ways. Also reduction of damage to garrison. That makes it easier to control lots of land, so I'll take that. But, parting of which ways? With whom? Out of curiosity. What the heck has happened up here in the north, by the way? Americanada is a thing. Alright. Union of the Machine? Run by Relcom. They are watching me. What happened to the communists up over here? They all got eaten into a machine? It's a communist machine. Oh my, what do they do? Alright, yeah, stuff's happening up here. People are growing pretty big. Like, all the small guys are getting eaten. There's a lot of consolidation happening here, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not sure I like it. The followers are severing their ties with us. Amglen stood in Essen's tent, having pulled her aside to speak in private. His voice was even, but she could hear there was a struggle to do so as he continued. They are denouncing your warpath and actions, and will do no more to help you. Is that all? Amglen was silent in his response. As long as they stay in their posts and keep running themselves ragged, caring for every weakling with a limp, I don't care how much they whine and cry. The slump in Amgalan's shoulders was clear even to her poor vision, and the unspoken implications only made her more irritated. Finally, she asked, "Are you leaving too?" He sighed and replied with a tone rich with sorrow. "No, I am here until the end. The Khans are my people. I will never abandon them, even if I find myself disappointed in them." He turned to leave, but hesitated at the flap. "That same goes for you." Once he was gone, Essen sat in the dim tent alone with a scowl across her face. The follower's move wasn't really a surprise. She'd known this would come eventually, and yet it was still frustrating. She didn't linger long, however. Melissa and Ezekiel were waiting, and there were war plans to discuss. The true Khans had a long way to go. Weaklings. We lose followers of the apocalypse, and instead we have rejected them. Just like every event that pretty much everyone gets to take at some point. Well, before I continue with the warpath, since we're still very much in a recovery state, Let's go ahead and start working on getting together our supposed faction, which I may or may not take advantage of, and try working my way down toward the horsemen. I'm not sure if I'll be able to be honest. Stoking the fires is a neighbor of Standing Rock. Like, do I need to release Standing Rock in order to do this? Because I'm kind of getting the sense that might be how this is going to work, and I'm going to be very peeved if that's the case. Oh, I can hire Amgalon as one of my cultural advisors now, though. I have been planning on picking up Diane. Actually, I already did. Never mind. Hold on. I'm thinking of economic advisors. Right, so Old Softy. Monthly population of 9% is pretty good. Improve relations and, more importantly, 8% research speed. Yeah, that's a solid advisor. I'll keep him on staff for sure. He's on retainer. Okay, it looks like we actually bypassed Come Join Our Fire and Taking the Fires of Civilization because neither of these nations exist. That's even more convenient. I'll take it. I like this focus, by the way. My Khanate for a horse. My Khanate for a horse. Who said that on their deathbed? A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Oh, I should know that. Hold on, I have to know. Richard III in a Shakespearean play. That's why I couldn't think of it. I'm actually thinking of like an actual, like, historical quote. No, it's Shakespeare. Which kind of goes to show how freaking integrated Shakespeare is into our culture. That it's so easy to mistake. But yeah, sure, whatever. Alright, so we have the horses tech, which if I go to, I think it's infantry equipment, there they are down here. We could research horses too, but let's take a look at what I'm seeing here. So, defense, some breakthrough, blah, blah, blah. Horsemen, we have cavalry now. Okay. They're not phenomenal, but they're really good in plains, deserts, and hills, which is primarily what I'm working with for now. So if we can get ourselves up to a horseman level 2 and eventually level 3... could see that being pretty solid. If I were to train up some riders over here, get them to, I don't know, let's say 12 combat width to start, how does this compare? It's 120 manpower for 51 soft attack. Contrast that here, where it's 265 manpower for 61 soft attack. So and that's with support companies, so are they significantly better than basic infantry? Yes, not to mention very fast. What about compared to my enforcers? The enforcers are still probably about even in terms of manpower per soft attack, but they have hardness. So I guess my enforcers could be my front line that's kind of tanky, and the riders will exploit all of the holes in their line. Of course, none of it matters until I can get some more gosh dang manpower. Whoa, 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 whoa! What is this? I think we found one of those bugs. Since, you know, I'm playing on an earlier version. Essen opened her eyes, but the darkness was still complete. She was blind. Her vision had been rapidly declining ever. NF_new_cons.35.d. Alright, she's blind, but unbowed. Somehow she got stronger out of the arrangement. I feel like she probably shouldn't be allowed to be my field marshal, but who am I to judge? Well, let's go ahead and pick up the horsemen, which gives me 500 horses, makes them cheaper to produce, and gives them even better organization. I love this. We literally are going to be creating the Golden Horde. And we're starting to actually build up some manpower now. Excellent. Now, one thing we could do, I believe that's special for this tribe here, we're starting off with veteran pathfinders. Not a very good conscription law. We could move up, but you have to be at war. We are only able to conscript more people as the Northern Khans if we are at war. Which is fascinating, by the way. With that in mind, maybe now is a good time to go ahead and move on to the eastern approach. I feel like everything over here is going to be easier for me to take on than pushing into MacArthur right now. So let's consolidate a bit further, get to war, get that political power, get some conscription laws, really boost this up. And then honestly, with the reduction of damage to garrisons plus our really good compliance growth, it really shouldn't be that hard for us to go ahead and pacify huge amounts of territory. And, unless I'm very much mistaken, we can core stuff, right? We go over here, we click on, let's say this. As long as it's attached to something that's already one of my cores, right, adjacent, we can actually go ahead and just spend political power and start coring some stuff now. So we can do all that. I still have not seen the ransack thing, so I don't know what that is. Maybe next time I go to war, when I occupy a territory before I officially take it, I should try seeing if I can ransack it or something like that. I'm not sure. I gotta figure that out. I might actually ask one of the devs what that means and how to find it, because it's not it's not as obvious to me as I might like. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.